What's going on, traders? Just want to review our trade this morning on Novavax. We are up over $700 and we have our position totally closed out, so we don't have anything open right now. And we'll probably take another trade on it after 3 o'clock when volume starts picking up again, depending on where we are at retracement. But yeah, I wanted to look at these entries and exits. I'm happy with our profit on this today, but it would have been way more if we just followed our initial plan, and I'll explain to you guys what happened, and hopefully this is helpful for you. First off, I just want to encourage you guys to stay diligent, to stay disciplined. Don't let anybody tell you can't trade the market successfully. I've been trading the market consistently well for many years now, and it is extremely hard to get to a point where you're consistent. It takes a very long time, and that's the reason why most people fail. But it's once you guys learn from your mistakes, if you're committed to learning from your mistakes, you're eventually going to catch up to yourself, and you're going to start slowly becoming more and more profitable. And so I just want to encourage you guys to don't give up. Start slow, stay diligent, stay disciplined, and you're going to get there. All right, so let's look at this trade today and see what happens. So Novavax was a very talked about stock over the weekend. There was a lot of news about it, many articles from different resources, and we were already selling off. If you pull up the 1-year chart, we had dipped quite a bit here, so this already had opportunity and room for a reset. And if you look at this trading action, these are 1-day candlesticks, okay? You can see we've had recent consolidation that has been acting as resistance. And so with all the good news that came out on it today and active news stories on it that were very positive, we shot right back up to that resistance in our pre-market trading. And I was aware of that right away. I was aware of what was going on with this stock. I was wanting to watch it since Thursday and Friday at the open today on Monday. And so when I signed in today, our price action was right around here in pre-market. And I knew because of the attention that this was going to have today that we would at some point reach up and retest this resistance. And that's exactly why we took these entries here. And so first off, this kind of threw me a little bit today because I was so confident in us retesting this resistance that I took a trade too early. You see, I got in pre-market action right here. Let me zoom in right here real quick. You can see my entry here after the market open was basically perfect. This was the low for the whole day today, and I could have rode that all the way up past this and hit this resistance. Just selling at this resistance, we would have been up over $5,000. But I was so confident in this retracement zone that I took an entry early, and I didn't enter this trade where I wanted to. I took an entry in our pre-market trading, and it dipped right to where I expected it to, which was fine. So I just added more, and everything was golden. But the problem is that this entry got into my head. It started to mess with my plan for the day because I was already red. Even though I took a perfect entry here, I was already red for the day. You can see we had this little bull run after I took that entry and then a quick dip. And this dip really shook me out because I was already a little shaken in the trade because I was in the red. If I was just patient and knew to not even trade this stock until it got to the entry that I wanted, none of that would ever happen. I could have, the market could open, I could have taken this entry here exactly like I planned to before the market opened. The reason I wanted this particular dollar amount is because of the stock's market cap, of its volatility, and its volume. And so because of those reasons, I was very confident that our 15-day, 15-minute would be respected. And you can see here, market opened up, we sold off and respected this 15-minute moving average, which is exactly why I wanted this trading, this entry point. Okay, I should have trusted my instinct and my experience and have been patient and not taken an entry in pre-market trading right here, because it just threw off all of my intonation in the trade and ended up cutting our profits, and we got out of the trade and we were up only over $700. If I stuck to my original decisions, this would have been more than a $5,000 trade. And we've never traded this stock before. This is the first time we've ever traded NVAX. And so overall, we were we were still very patient on an entry, so we didn't make terrible decisions. We were very confident in overall direction, and we had good reasons to be in this trade. And so even though we didn't make the decisions that we wanted to, that foundation of patience and that foundation of retracement and finding entries and knowing how our previous resistance was going to be tested again, we were able to still take some nice profits on this today. So I'll still take another trade. I'm pretty confident after 3 o'clock today. We'll see what happens. It just depends where it's at. I also wanted to point out, just because this past Friday we had a really great trade on Shift 4 payments. As you can see right here, this trade was $1,100. The reason I took this trade was because we had a ton of volume here on this long-term support. And you can see I waited an entire hour to bounce off of this zone right here on Friday. Waited an entire hour to get that entry point. And because of all the volume there, I knew that this would be supportive. And I'm trying to chart it here. So right about there. You can see that was our entry on Friday, following Thursday's price action. And you can see we dipped hard here, and I was down in the red at this point, but didn't start trimming losses, had no stop set, because I knew that it was just a matter of time before we turned around and started picking up on volume. And there's a lot that went into this trade and understanding the volume behind this particular stock and why it moved that way. But I just wanted to point that out for you guys real quick. More on measuring stocks like that in the future, but just wanted to point that one out to you real quick because that was a really fun trade. This was a trade that I was in for an hour and a half. Jumped in at 10:30 and sold at 1 o'clock. And this was an entry based on short-term retracement, and my exit was based on order flow weakness on the level 2 and our time in sales. So yeah, if either of these were helpful for you, please consider subscribing to the channel and just checking back every now and then to sharpen your skills a little bit. And I hope to hear from you guys. Let me know what you're trading this week. Let me know what you're watching. I'm always interested to know what people are watching. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.